They told everyone Greystone Asylum was shut down years ago. But when Mia, a student journalist, heard rumors about strange lights and screams coming from the building at night, she decided to sneak in and find the truth. She climbed the broken fence just after midnight, flashlight in hand, her phone ready to record. But the moment she stepped inside the main hall, her phone lost all signal and the flashlight started to flicker. The old hospital smelled like mold, blood, and something worse, something sweet and rotten, and the walls were covered in old patient notes, numbers, and deep scratches like someone had tried to claw their way out. She walked past empty rooms with rusted beds and broken wheelchairs, and in one hallway, she saw a shadow move quickly around a corner. Thinking it might be another explorer, she followed, calling out, "Hello?" but got no answer. The deeper she went, the colder it got, and soon she heard voices. Not one, but many, whispering things she couldn't understand, speaking all at once in a low, broken tone. She turned a corner and found a door that said Ward 6, the same ward the internet claimed had the worst cases. Patients who screamed about seeing people with no eyes, people who came into their rooms at night and whispered things that made them go insane. Mia pushed the door open and it slammed shut behind her. She was in total darkness. Then, something touched her hand. Cold fingers, too many of them. And when she screamed, the lights blinked on for a second, and she saw them. Dozens of patients, pale and thin, standing around her in hospital gowns, staring without eyes, mouths hanging open. Then the lights went out again. She ran. She didn't know how long or where, but she ended up back outside, panting and shaking. She thought she was safe. But when she got home, strange things started to happen. Her mirror fogged up by itself and always had words written in it like, "We see you." At night, she heard soft crying from under her bed, and her phone played recordings she never made, voices from inside the hospital saying her name. Then, the worst part, in every photo she took, no matter where she was, she could see the patients from Ward 6 standing in the background, closer each time. Mia tried to go back to Greystone to put it all to rest, but when she returned, the hospital was gone. Not shut down, erased like it never existed. No building, no fence, no foundation. Now she sees those pale figures every time she closes her eyes. No one believes her, and the whispers never stop. Last week, she was found rocking back and forth in her apartment, eyes open wide, mumbling, "They checked me in. I never left." But the records show she was never a visitor, only a patient. And Ward 6? It was sealed shut in 1973, after all the patients inside mysteriously disappeared. They brought Mia to the psychiatric ward at St. Augustine General, the only hospital in the city still taking emergency mental health cases. She didn't fight, didn't speak, didn't blink. She just kept whispering about Ward 6 and saying over and over, "Don't look in the mirror. Don't sleep with the lights off. Don't answer if they call your name." The doctors believed it was a full psychotic break, probably triggered by stress, lack of sleep, or trauma. They put her in a quiet room with no sharp objects, no mirrors, no windows. But the nurses started noticing strange things. Her door would open by itself, even when locked. The hallway cameras near her room always glitched between 12 MAR and 12:06 a.m. One night, a nurse heard laughing, childlike giggles, but when she peeked inside Mia's room, Mia was sitting still, smiling, and the walls were covered in chalk markings. Numbers, names, and the words, "She's not alone." They moved Mia to a secure isolation room, but it didn't help. Other patients began screaming at night, pointing at empty corners of their rooms, and saying things like, "She brought them here," and "I saw them in the ceiling." One man clawed out his eyes with a spoon, saying he didn't want to see the nurses with no faces. Soon, the staff began quitting, or worse, disappearing. One psychiatrist, Dr. Evan Harris, stayed. He wanted to understand what was happening. He spent weeks reviewing Mia's case, watching every minute of footage from the first night she was admitted. Then, he saw something impossible. at exactly 12:03 a.m. Every night, Mia would sit up in bed, eyes wide open, and speak in a voice that wasn't hers. It was deeper, slower, full of static. The words were always the same. She belongs to Ward 6. So do you. Dr. Harris went digging. He discovered that Greystone Asylum had, in fact, existed, but all records had been scrubbed clean. No blueprints, no official closure. But in an old newspaper archive, he found a black and white photo of the asylum from the 1960s. And there, in the background, was a young woman in a nurse's uniform with a blank face, no eyes, and a stitched smile. The article said Ward 6 was where they placed the most disturbed patients, people who claimed to hear voices from the walls and see shadowy figures with backwards hands. No patient ever left Ward 6, and then he saw something else. In the photo, standing beside the nurse was a girl who looked exactly like Mia. That night, Dr. Harris returned to her room, but Mia was gone. No alarms, no signs of escape, just a note written on the wall in chalk. She's back home now. They searched the hospital for days, but there was nothing. The room was sealed. Her name was removed from all digital records, like she had never been there. Now, people say if you're near an old hospital late at night and you see a hallway that shouldn't exist or a door marked Ward 6, don't open it. Don't follow the crying. Don't answer if you hear your name, because if you do, the ward remembers you, and it wants you back.